Hey, this is Mike Madden, the Mental Block Doc. Are you ready to kick your butts for good? Let's continue on the topic of changing your psychology to change your habit, or really anything in your life. Now, did you ever have a job that you didn't like? Coworkers that just drove you crazy, a boss that you just clashed with? Hey, it happens, right? We can have a boss that's just a control freak, flies off the handle, never compliments your work. We can have coworkers who just drive you crazy with attitudes and opinions. And we can have a job that just leaves you drained and uninspired. Can I get an amen? Now, when you hear me say, well, you know what? Your boss is your circumstance. Your crazy coworkers are your circumstance. And your circumstance is not causing your pain. It's your thinking about them that's causing your pain. I could see your eyes roll and hear underneath your breath, come on, man. It's unrealistic to think that my boss and my coworkers who I'm there with for 8 hours a day have no control over my mood. Hey, I hear you. Okay. I hear you. It makes sense to blame them for how we feel. Let me share with you a personal experience. I was at a job. I was working as a therapist in a rehab department, and I noticed I was getting all the challenging patients all the time. I would come in the morning, I would look at my caseload and say, what the hell, man? I got this one and that one, and it's not fair. I get all the ones that no one else wants. Yeah, sure, give them all to Mikey. Mikey will work with anybody, while everybody else was having a cakewalk, okay? So I had all these patients with, shall I say, challenging attitudes. I was getting tired of it, and as a result, I was beginning to have an attitude towards my patients as well as to my coworkers and boss. Something had to change. I tried to explain this to the boss, but the response was, too bad. Suck it up. That's just the way it is. All right, let's go to the psychology formula. My personal circumstance was I was getting all the hard, challenging patients while everybody else had easy ones. Okay, that was the circumstance. Now, my thought was, what I was thinking, being taken advantage of, and it's not fair. The feeling from that thought was anger, frustration, and just being annoyed. The action from that feeling was I would start off the day and I would end the day with a bad attitude. The result that was showing up in my life was I'm not really enjoying this job anymore. It sucks. Okay, well, what can I do? I can't change the circumstance. It is what it is. Mike's getting all the tough patients. I had to look for a better thought to start off the cycle because my old cycle was making me miserable, okay? So what I began to realize was, how can I think about this in a new way? I began to realize that the reason that I was getting the challenging cases was I was actually very successful with these folks where other therapists weren't. When I stopped complaining like a little baby and I realized that, you know what? I can get rapport and I was getting results and I was actually good at what I do, my attitude started to change. So my new thought was, I'm getting so and so that nobody else wants because I have a gift for relating to people where everybody else is failing to connect. So that thought created the feeling of, you know what? I feel kind of blessed and honored that I'm able to do this. I'm excited. I can use my gift of relating to other people, making people feel safe, making people feel heard. People can open up to me, when they need help. And the action from that feeling was I started to look forward to working with challenging patients. The results were I was getting complimented on amazing results from complicated cases. I just had to look at things differently and a new cycle began. Now, to see how this can help you to quit smoking or any other habit that you want freedom over, please click the link in the description below. Let's kick your butts for good.